And for Off the Block, I'm Vinny Lopes, and we are now joined by UCLA men's volleyball head coach John Hawks as he is in California getting his team ready for the 2025 season, which is 2 months away. So, Coach, I guess we have to start here. Last time we chatted with you, you were coach at Loyola. Opportunity for UCLA came on up. What has this last month been like for you, adjusting to your new environment and taking on a whole new team?
Yeah, thanks, Vinny. It's been crazy. So currently, my wife and my kids are still in Chicago trying to sell my house, and I'm out here, and I've been out here with the guys and just getting to learn them and meeting the donors. We have Giving Day coming up, so it's just a million things going on, and hired Lindsey Brown. We have just a lot of things going on and a lot of changes within the teams. Just them for them specifically, a lot of things are changing. So they're having to adapt and adjust, and we're having to do the same thing. So I started the fall working with a different team, and now I have these UCLA guys, and it's just all of us getting used to each other. It's been a fun fall so far.
Coach, I would imagine, especially with some of the upperclassmen at UCLA having been there before, recruited some of them, how helpful is that, having those prior connections and prior relations going into a situation like this?
I think it's really important. I think the just the familiarity. I know the families, I know who they are, and it's really trying to reconnect and build their trust, and they're trying to build my trust, and it's really helped to know them. I love all these guys, and it's just all of us trying to work together, and at the end of the day, we're all trying to reach the same goal. So it's been a lot of fun, and I can't say it hasn't been without its challenges, but it's been a lot of fun, and we have a great staff, and Nick and Brandon and Lindsay now, and I like where we're going.
Yeah. Coach, looking at your team, I know you saw them last season both in person and on film. Obviously, new team, new players and everything, but getting an opportunity to work with them in the gym. What has stood out for you the most getting to work with these guys the last month?
Well, I think there's a lot of athleticism, with the leadership of the guys. I think that's probably been the one thing I'm trying to hone in on, is who our internal leaders are going to be. And we do have captains, but Andrew Rowan's a great setter. Zach Rama's a fantastic athlete. You got Ito DeVete at opposite. He's got an amazing arm and always seems to have a smile on his face. And our service pressure's been there. I think the things that I think all of us are working through right now through the fall is first touch, right? So what are we doing in serve receive? And if we're in system, we're a pretty good team. But then there's the defensive schemes and systems, and how hard are we playing, and all those things that are the fun parts of working with teams in the fall and putting the puzzle together. So that to me has been fun. I mean, I named a few guys, but there's Mike Wangialo and Cam Thorne, just a lot of really good athletic pieces. I mean, I could go on. I mean, Luca Kirchi and Trent Talaferro and Sean Kelly. I mean, there's just a lot of really good volleyball players, and now we got to come together and figure out how to tighten up our systems a little bit and tighten up the way we play.
And, Coach, I want to ask you, because you've come into a program like UCLA, such a passionate fan base, so many great alums, and I'm sure tons of alums have opinions on how you should be doing things. How do you kind of balance all that input and then also making sure you're putting your stamp on the program?
Well, I hear what you're saying. There's a lot of really great people, and I'm listening, and it's not about me putting my stamp on it, more or less. I think it's about all of us kind of figuring each other out to some degree, and the alums have questions because they're interested, but they're also super proud, and I respect that. I think it's great. So I don't want to come in and disrupt a whole bunch of stuff. My goal is to try to be as seamless as I possibly can in this transition for them, because at the end of the day, these kids have academics to deal with too, and they've got a life outside of volleyball, and it's trying to keep these guys where they're having fun. It's not feeling like a job to them. So, how the alumni fit into all that, right now they're just excited that we're moving forward, and they're looking forward to watching these guys play and supporting them in any way they can.
Coach, you returned to UCLA after spending 2 years at Loyola. What do you feel was the biggest things that you learned about yourself and about being a head coach during your time at Loyola?
Yeah, Vinny, I think the things that you go from being in the assistant's chair to running the show, and I think the biggest thing for me was trying to let go of some things and delegate a lot. So I think that's one of the things, but I think you realize that you're more of a CEO in these roles now, and it's managing the staff and managing the players and the emotions, and I'm not the as a head coach. I think you learn that you can't please everybody, and you want to, especially as an assistant. You're trying to put out fires and be the right hand man for the head coach and all those things. And as a head coach, it's you got to make tough calls, and unfortunately, I don't want to say those tough calls get easier, because they don't. But I think that if you're gonna, I think for me the hard conversations that you have to have with players, you can't have them without having a deep layer or level of trust with these guys, and being able to say that hey, I don't like the way you're playing right now, or how hard you're going, and it has to come from a place of respect and love and appreciation. I think that goes both ways. So I feel for me, I'm at a point where I'm trying to keep learning and keep evolving and keep adapting to these guys and how they train and how they work and who they are as people. So I think I learned a lot more of that just being the head coach of Loyola. It was a great experience. I love those guys, but I've got UCLA ahead of me, and I'm equally as excited, and I can't wait to see what we do. I think these guys are just great guys, and we do have talent. It's a matter of now, can we put together and make a run at a third.
Yeah. Coach, just one or two final questions before we wrap up here. I do want to ask you, jumping back to an answer you gave earlier, talking about just, wanting to make sure that the players are having fun playing the sport. And I want to ask for you as a coach, lots of responsibilities, but what is it about this job being a coach that makes you wake up in the morning and just have that joy for volleyball and doing what you're doing?
I mean, I love coaching. It's a lot of fun. I think what gets me up is trying to help these guys go achieve a goal that hasn't been done in a long time. And UCLA is a special place with a ton of great supporters and great fans and great administrators. It's just a place with a lot of resources that we can go do some great things. And that's what gets me up, the motivation to go achieve something that hasn't been done in a long time.
All right, Coach, and final question, we'll end on this. I think it's a question that I've been wondering. You were in Chicago, back in L.A. You have full perspective on this. What city has the worst traffic?
Ooh, that's a good one. I think Chicago's got really bad traffic. I think the traffic here over the last couple of days, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, are awful. But the drivers are way worse in Chicago. I will say that. I've been consistent with that statement for the last 2.5 years, and I'm sticking with it.